many that will come to this building for years to come. This is a little bit of a rivalry that we haven't seen since the 90s and early 2000s. Teams that are a couple miles away from each other, but two terrific programs in two different conferences.
Yeah, 2003 to be exact, the last time that these two teams met, and we know a lot of things have changed since then. The addition of Martin down low to the lineup, a transfer out of Texas State, he gets it going early.
Yeah, that's Nate Martin from Houston, Texas. On the Marshall side, you have a couple of new faces, some transfers. Radford's a little bit more of a familiar team. A lot of guys coming back from last year, but both won more than 20 games a season ago. Here's Giles, step back, top of the key. And an offensive rebound. What's new? Justin Archer.
Well, Justin Archer in the last game against UNC, as we see that ball go up by DeQuan Smith, can't land it. He only had one offensive rebound. He was in the tops in the country last year in that category. So Marshall's going to have to do a good job of when a shot goes up, trying to keep him off the boards.
Right wing three coming, and just missed a little deep for Jacob Connor. Radford now pushing the pace. Here's DeQuan Smith. That's denied. No whistle. Smith barely keeps it in. And Chandler Turner gets us on the board.
Well, it's a little tight on that baseline down there. The guys have to get adjusted to playing in here where it's a little more confined. And they didn't hear a whistle. You got to continue to play, and DeQuan Smith did just that.
Cam Kerfman's three is offline. An early 2-0 lead for Marshall. This is Radford's game, slowing it down in the half court. You see Marshall come in, take the first best shot it can find, and there's the first knockdown shot for Kenyon Giles. Had a foot on the line, so that counts as a two.
Well, Giles hits that shot over Jacob Connor. He's listed at 6'8". Giles, again, we said 5'8" for real, right? And the confidence of him to step up and knock down that shot just shows how well-rounded his game is.
There's Voiles, the newcomer. Shot clock under 10. His three is offline to the right. Nate Martin flying in for an attempted offensive rebound, but he can't quite get his mitts on it. Again, this is an intimate atmosphere. There's a lot of fans that are courtside on, I guess, 3 of the 4 sides with the teams and the scores table on 1. But some of these fans are going to have basketballs hit them in the chest. We might get some action on the side table here ourselves.
Well, I'm going to block you, Keith. I'll save us all. Don't you worry about that. But, yeah, it's very tight in here, but I like it. It feels like the fans are right on top of you. It adds to the grittiness of this environment, of this game that we've seen so far. The guys are really getting after it.
Big block there from Obi, as he's known. Obina and Ochili Killen. Down low, trapped though, and he loses it underneath the basket. But he's one of the guys that has been around for a while in his senior season. That Dan D'Antoni in his 10th year has loved the growth from Obi, and bringing in some of the newcomers. Of course, he has Cam Kerfman back, but Cameron Crawford, another Cam that's brand new to the scene, is another piece for this team that loves to run and gun and fly. An early 4-2 lead, though, for Radford.
Well, it's Marshall's just their second regular season game together, so it's going to take them a while to gel and mesh and continue to know each other. On that last possession, you would have loved to see that ball get thrown up to Obi in the air as opposed to the bounce pass, but Pierce on the other end of the floor is going to be heading to the free throw line.
First whistle of the night, DeAndre Pierce heading to the free throw line. That introduces us as well to the officials. Call this touch foul. Jason Page, Deontay Carter, and Dan Powers are Zebras tonight at the Greenbrier. This Radford team 0-1 took on North Carolina and played them a lot tougher than most people thought, but don't tell Darius Nichols that, because we talked to him today. He goes, we lost. We're upset that we lost that game. There's no moral victories with Coach Nichols.
And I love that mindset because it trickles down to his team. He asked them, what type of messages and stuff were you getting after the game? He said, it was the same. You guys played them close. You played them tough. He doesn't care about none of that. They didn't get the dub. It was a loss for them, and he wants his team to get out there and be competitors and get the job done, and that's the most important thing.
Happy feet slide around for Kevon Voiles. So it's been a slow start for both of these teams, just 6 points, fewer than 4 minutes into the first half. But this is Radford's game. This helps out the Radford Highlanders, who love to slow down that pace in the half court, get methodical. Antoine eyes ahead. They will drip it down as far as they need to in the shot clock to get the right look. Antoine, top of the key, shot clock under 10, makes his move. Step back is off, and Kerfman just lets it roll away.
Well, that's a tough shot right there by Radford. The ball never left his hands, and you have to try to get into your offense, get a couple passes. That was a highly contested jump shot, and I don't think that's what Radford is looking to do. Try to get a couple passes, but one-on-one, not typically their game.
So far, Marshall down the floor, just 2 for 8. Boyles on the drive, left hand swatted away. That's DeAndre Pierce. Always aggressive on the defensive side. Now, that piece for Radford as well, as they're playing very guard heavy. A lot of smaller guys to this piece. They're still waiting for Harris and TJ Neesmith to come by. That's Josiah Harris to come back. But in the meantime, they've got Justin Archer, they've got DeAndre Pierce, hoping at least for now to anchor that paint. Now, Boyles still ice cold from the get-go. Smith and Giles slow it down at the top. Daquan Smith, how about this? This is his 6th collegiate season. Pretty unbelievable. 4 years at Murray State. This is year 2 at Radford. Got an injury, the COVID year here or there, so he's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, for sure. And it shows right there with the step-back jump shot. He is the ultimate scorer, can keep the basketball for himself, and he's the leading returning scorer for this Radford group as well. So you know when the ball is in his hands, he's looking to do what he just did on that last possession.
Our first timeout of the night. Radford so far using some of its veterans to step back and step into an early lead.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778, the Spring Row Cottages, now available for purchase, provide the perfect opportunity to make America's resort your personal playground and embrace the 4 distinct seasons that can be found in the West Virginia mountains. All of this is part of the unparalleled lifestyle that comes with membership to the Greenbrier Legacy Club. To learn more about ownership, club benefits, and amenities, visit greenbrierlegacyclub.com.
Thanks to DiscountTire.com, we have more time to hang with our new friends.
What do you like to do for fun?
Well, with DiscountTire.com, we save a ton of time.
So we're always trying new things.
Save time. Buy and book online at DiscountTire.com.
Experience the warmth of the season as wintertime comes to life at the Greenbrier. Enjoy an exceptional array of indoor and outdoor adventures mingled with seasonal foods, wines, and entertainment January 5th through March 9th. Whether sipping on a unique winter cocktail around a cozy fire, taking an enthusiastic splash in the heated indoor pool, or bundled up tight as you glide gracefully around the ice skating rink, you'll be refreshed and energized by a winter excursion to America's resort. For more information, visit greenbrier.com.
A lot of smiling faces on this Friday night at the Greenbrier in White Sulphur Springs. An early 7-2 Radford lead. But this series, again, I haven't seen a meeting since 2003. I don't know about you, Ty. I was 10 years old. That was a long time ago. It's good to get this back together.
Well, I turned 28 on Sunday. I'm not the best at math, but if you were 10, I was probably about
8?
Yeah, so not bad. So we're getting there.
Well, when you get into broadcasting and communications, they say, well, you only need 1 math class for your 4 years. So
And that's exactly what I did. I took it my freshman year, and after that, I was over it. The math was not mathing for me personally, so we leave that to the experts.
Kerfman, first possession off the media timeout. Marshall continues to be cold. Here's Antoine pushing the pace, looking with eyes. Pulls it out for Giles. Giles, so nifty. Just a sophomore. In a world of transfers, he's that homegrown talent getting better and better every year for Radford. number 3 in blue.
Well, their coach says he's the leader of this squad, and I think one of my favorite things he says, as we see the pocket pass to Archer, but get that out of here, sticks with the play, can't get the second one to go up either.
Connor denied the first try. Here's try number 2,000 for Radford. They can't drop it. And Marshall cleans up the boards. Antoine, though, loose change, two-hand flush. Boy, all Radford to start this game.
They're just straight out hustling Marshall. Even on the boards, they weren't able to get those putbacks by Archer to go and fall down, but they're really gritty and getting after it, and I think that started in shoot-around for them today.
Now, Dan D'Antoni takes a timeout, and again, this is just moments from a media timeout. But it's these kind of plays. This is 2 points, Ty, but this is the kind of momentous play that you need to take a breath if you're Marshall.
I agree, and this is a good timeout right there by Coach to get his team in check, because they're not even able to get into their offense because of the careless passes there, the turnovers, and they're not matching Marshall's energy whatsoever. And I'm going back to my point about shoot-around. We both came there this morning, and it was 2 completely different vibes. Radford was up-tempo, talking, yelling at each other. Marshall, on the other hand, more chill, laid back, lax, and that could just be their style. But it's a reflection of how Radford is playing right now on the floor.
Yeah, Radford has certainly won the first 5 or 6 minutes. They have a 9-2 lead and the ball. First look at Truth Harris off the bench. Highlanders able to space the floor. Antoine running point, basically, the transfer from Villanova. He gets a look at a deep 3. And Harris able to space the floor, pick up the board. He finds Smith. Offensive effort, rebound. That's going to stay with Radford underneath the basket. There are a ton of white jerseys surrounding Chandler Turner, but it stays with the Highlanders.
Well, the big thing is the boards right now. Radford has 12 to Marshall's 5 rebounds. So they're killing them on the boards right now, second chance opportunities. And if they're able to cash in on some of those second chance opportunities, you know, we might be looking at nearly a 15-point lead.
Smith, that 3 really could have made it hurt. And the possession remains with Radford. Now, the thing, part of shoot-around, we got a chance to talk to Dan D'Antoni, who is the head coach of Marshall, and in about 8 seconds, we realize he's one of our favorite people in the game. But the style that they play, even though it may not look great for a stretch, the way that they play, they're up 20, they're down 20. They never feel like they're out of it because of that style of play.
Well, Coach told us he coined the phrase organized chaos, right? He said, I'm the one who made that up in 1981. And he said he also coined the phrase bully ball, as we might see right here coming down the lane.
Al Martin right on cue, strong take, gets the rebound, and now Marshall with Crawford puts up the 2, and still they can't get it to drop. There's a lid on the basket right now for the Thundering Herd. Yeah,
they're just ice cold, but this is the play that could get them going right here by Kevon, and no, just great hustle play to get back by Antoine.
So Voiles took a look at the referee and thought maybe a foul, but instead it's just simply knocked out of bounds. And a chance for Marshall to set up its offense.
Well, from my observation, Kevon, he kind of slows down right there. Now, he did get him on the arm. I see that from the backside with that replay. So a missed one there by the refs. But at the same time, I felt like Kevon could have really put on the Jets a little bit more to try to elevate and get ahead.
Quick inbound. Kerfman need it. Oh, beautiful putback from Cam Crawford, the new guy, transfer from Indiana State. Now that breaks really an ugly spell. It was a 9-0 run over the last 6 minutes. Harris had it and lost it. Man, right back to Marshall again. It may not have looked good, but Marshall doesn't really care. They're moving to the next possession.
And, I mean, the hustle play, and you see right there, Obi is going to the free throw line. That play by Crawford could be the one that gets his squad going, the putback, his long athleticism, being able to reach over and to get something to fall. Sometimes with a team like that, all you need to see is the ball going into the basket.
So here's Anachili Killen, the senior from Nigeria. 14 points and 5 boards in that win against Queens. And we talk about the transfer portal. You talk about it everywhere in basketball. But when you have a player who's been there for all 4 years, it's nice for a program, for a coaching staff to see the growth. And that's really the word that sticks out with Obi, as he's known, as those great 4 years that he's had to build himself into this player.
Oh, it's so valuable. You talk about just having, bringing leadership back to your program. Obi is the definition of that for Marshall.
Radford still up by 5. Giles had an early bucket, looking for another one. Missed it off the front of the rim, and the rebound to Marshall. 3, deep 3, around and out. And a collision on the baseline, a push, and a foul called against Cam Crawford for Marshall. So painful, but a drawn foul by Radford. That takes us to another break at the Greenbrier. Still Radford in front, but just getting started with a little bully ball.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778, the Spring Row Cottages, now available for purchase, provide the perfect opportunity to make America's resort your personal playground and embrace the 4 distinct seasons that can be found in the West Virginia mountains. All of this is part of the unparalleled lifestyle that comes with membership to the Greenbrier Legacy Club. To learn more about ownership, club benefits, and amenities, visit greenbrierlegacyclub.com.
Thanks to DiscountTire.com, we have more time to hang with our new friends.
What do you like to do for fun?
Well, with DiscountTire.com, we save a ton of time.
So we're always trying new things.
Save time. Buy and book online at DiscountTire.com.
Experience the warmth of the season as wintertime comes to life at the Greenbrier. Enjoy an exceptional array of indoor and outdoor adventures mingled with seasonal foods, wines, and entertainment January 5th through March 9th. Whether sipping on a unique winter cocktail around a cozy fire, taking an enthusiastic splash in the heated indoor pool, or bundled up tight as you glide gracefully around the ice skating rink, you'll be refreshed and energized by a winter excursion to America's resort. For more information, visit greenbrier.com.
So some happy Radford fans, so far. Just a 9-6 lead. Both teams really have not had a great time scoring the basketball. Radford's had just a little bit more success. 87 miles away from the Greenbrier. Meanwhile, Marshall 123 miles away, and we're right across state lines when you get down to this part of the state in West Virginia. And they have packed out Colonial Hall. Which, I was wondering, too, during shoot-around, we watched a lot of shots go up. It has to be a little weird when you're shooting in a new environment like this instead of your home gym or a deep arena. I feel like it's got to be a little funky for a shooter.
I would say that, and as a former shooter myself, sometimes the depth perception can throw you off a little bit. You see this side where Radford is shooting on right now. Great pass to the back door. Wow. I love that play by Radford.
Get together, Pierce and Archer.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you don't have that vision of a backdrop that is familiar to you, and it can sometimes throw your shot off, and then the stage on the other side. So it's 2 different situations when it comes to your shot off.
Boyles still needs it, but a hustle save by Crawford from one Cam to another. Like Herfman's 3, it's just not dropping right now. 0 for 5 from the floor. And both teams basically ice cold.
Now where Radford is really exploiting and can exploit this Marshall defense is they switch everything. It's tough and one by Archer on the inside. So in a situation like that, Marshall is switching everything on defense. Archer is able to duck down over top of Kevon Boyles. He's smaller than him. That's barbecue chicken down low. And it's easy buckets all day long if he gets caught behind.
Archer finding himself at the free throw line. A player known a little bit more for his rebounding than his scoring, but Radford will take it as often as they can. Archer had 6 points, 9 boards in a matchup against North Carolina, but can't complete the three-point play. Radford, the give and go. That's, oh my goodness. If you want to know what the first half has been like, that's been it for Marshall tonight. Giles, nifty move from the little guy.
I mean, he's little, but he plays big. You're able to take it into the chest of Obi. He's 6'8", fearless, doesn't shy away from the contact, and that's what their offense, it operates. They're able to get those drives to the right side and finish easily off the basket. Again, off those switches, they're taking advantage.
Second trip to the free throw line for Obi. And Chili Killen is the guy that does provide the length inside for Marshall. 6'8", and really that's the type of player that the Thundering Herd and D'Antoni love to recruit. Athleticism and length. The athleticism you can kind of teach. Length you can't really teach. So it's nice to find those big bodies whenever you can. For sure,
and he's typically a really great rim protector as well. And that's something that you can teach to play without fouling, but the length is a counter to that. But it hasn't stopped Radford from finding their way into the paint.
Jumper, Alters can't finish it, and there's Obi cleaning it up. Marshall looking for that possession, that feel-good possession. And a foul call. Looked like Giles pushed in at, to be honest with you, a low angle. And there goes Chili Killen, who's blown a tire.
Made his shoe fall off and off. But this is great defense by Giles. You have to body up. And honestly, to me, it looks like Obi just tripped himself up on the way down. He, put his forearm up, used his body to try to keep him out the paint. I believe the help was going to come over to help switch back, but to me that looked like solid defense.
If I'm Giles in that situation, I can only hope that the help defense is coming in that
they were coming. They was coming to help him out, but he was holding his own for the most part.
Rick's in trouble, has lost his dribble. Shot clock down to 4. Take for the young guy, Connor. That left it short. Now these Marshall fans that are here really waiting to explode. A big three, a big make. It's been frustrating buckets tonight for Marshall, and that hurts. Daquan Smith. Again, he also, like Giles, had 18 against UNC.
He just was in rhythm in that shot. Again, he's a shooter, a scorer. He's looking for that, and Marshall has to, KYP, know their personnel on that play. Get out on the shooter. Don't allow for Radford to be comfortable.
0 for 6 now with that miss from long range from Marshall. All right, Giles might have traveled. Smith wants another one. Can't finish.
Now what I love about this is I'm observing the sideline. I'm looking over at Coach Dan. Nothing has changed about him. He knows his team, and he knows just as quickly as they got down, they can get back into it. But it's going to take some big plays. This could be the start of it. But no, another blown layup.
There is a restlessness in this gym right now for Marshall fans. Meanwhile, Radford kind of riding the storm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the look that you want, though. It was a clear path to the basket. You got to focus and finish at this point.
There's Trent Walters, one of the new guys, a freshman. Finds Giles just too wide open. Kenyon Giles. Hey, listen, if he was in our scouting report, he was certainly a Marshall scouting report.
He was probably top line scouting report, circled in red, highlighted in yellow. That's how good the kid is.
And there's Wyatt Fricks. For a moment, a little bit of a sigh of relief, but a big hill to climb for Marshall. Fricks, his third year with the Thundering Herd. Walters trying to sneak by the big guys, draws the foul. Nice. Foul coming against Kerfman. That is his first foul, so free throws for the Radford Highlanders when we get back to the Greenbrier. A 21-9 lead, thanks to a couple different buckets, sometimes from the littlest of guys, Kenyon Giles.
Thanks to DiscountTire.com, we have more time to hang with our new friends.
What do you like to do for fun?
Well, with DiscountTire.com, we save a ton of time.
So we're always trying new things.
Save time. Buy and book online at DiscountTire.com.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778, the Spring Row Cottages, now available for purchase, provide the perfect opportunity to make America's resort your personal playground and embrace the 4 distinct seasons that can be found in the West Virginia mountains. All of this is part of the unparalleled lifestyle that comes with membership to the Greenbrier Legacy Club. To learn more about ownership, club benefits, and amenities, visit greenbrierlegacyclub.com.
What if your future had no limits? For over a century, Radford University has been inspiring its students, shining light on the path towards successful careers and a brighter future. With a thriving campus nestled in Virginia's magnificent Blue Ridge Mountains, from places near and far, Radford University students come from a myriad of backgrounds. Our common ground is the dream of a better tomorrow. Let Radford University help you realize yours. Visit radford.edu.
Experience the warmth of the season as wintertime comes to life at the Greenbrier. Enjoy an exceptional array of indoor and outdoor adventures mingled with seasonal foods, wines, and entertainment January 5th through March 9th. Whether sipping on a unique winter cocktail around a cozy fire, taking an enthusiastic splash in the heated indoor pool, or bundled up tight as you glide gracefully around the ice skating rink, you'll be refreshed and energized by a winter excursion to America's resort. For more information, visit greenbrier.com.
A degree from Marshall University isn't simply a career path. It's a trust. It's an opportunity to inhabit the moments that change lives, to make the connections that make the difference. With the options of a larger school and the intimate nature of a smaller one, you'll find your people, your passion, and yourself while you experience the moments that shape the rest of your life. In person, online, or a mixture of both. Join us today and start to change lives, most notably your own, tomorrow. Your moment awaits at Marshall.
Free throws coming up for Radford. Marshall was the first on the floor after that timeout. I wonder, Ty, with your time playing, when you're not doing so hot as a team and you're the first team on the floor and the other team slowly comes on, you kind of want to get away from coach, right? At that point, you just take a little bit of a breather away.
Yeah, probably try to get away and reset, too, just a little bit before these free throws go up. But I'm sure they heard it all in that huddle of the things that they need to clean up and execute better on.
Trenton Walters hits his first free throw. Freshman, so really all these minutes for Walters are brand new to the college game. Mm-hmm. He's out of Frisco, Texas, which is one of the few places outside of California you find In-N-Out Burger. Animal style, if you ask me. So Walters hits them both. And now hops off the floor for Antoine. Meanwhile, on the Marshall side, they're looking for a spark, and while Dan D'Antoni rarely strays from his guys, he's got Ryan Nutter in there bringing the ball up the floor. Freshman out of Dublin, Ohio.
Well, you got to look for somebody who's going to get things going for you, and if you're Nutter, this is an opportunity and a time for you to crack into that lineup, not starting lineup per se, but get yourself some minutes and into that rotation for the Herd.
Martin on the drive. Martin takes it in. I tell you what, those are a lot easier than when you're ice cold from long range. Just drop it in off the glass.
And that's a great read by Martin. All of Radford's defense was in the middle, so he takes it baseline where he had the advantage to just kiss it off the glass easily.
So far for Radford, it's been their guys, but right now a turnover. Here's Crawford finding Obi. Right back to Fricks. Now Marshall just, again, love to put back-to-back possessions together because Radford feels good. They've got their guys Smith and Giles, at least in rhythm. And that length, near turnover. Archer out to Turner. Big three. So Radford is the team that's been pouring it in from deep. It's been Marshall that has been without the three. Radford now 4 for 10.
And Chandler, he's not known for his three-point shooting, so Marshall real slow to get out, and another bucket by Crawford able to go down.
Antoine trying to take Nutter all the way to the cup. Now a miscommunication from Turner and Archer. Again, Archer's been here. Turner's one of those newer faces for Radford. Spent 4 years at Bowling Green. He's a graduate student. Here's a look at DeQuan Smith. He gets a breather. So a lot of heavy work for the Radford starters over the first 14 minutes of the half. And Marshall down by 13, looking to cut in. And Nutter draws the foul. Fouls have been fairly even. Neither team looking at freebies yet. Both teams with 14 fouls. So an inbound coming from under the basket. But again, that's Ryan Nutter. As Dan D'Antoni said, he got to campus a lot better than they thought he was in recruiting. You always love to hear that. Now Martin, that's working, whatever that is for Marshall. Martin so far a breath of fresh air under the basket.
Well, Martin is just taking his time when he's getting the basketball, and it's one power dribble and going up, not doing anything fancy or out of the ordinary, and that is what they need to continue to go to. If they can find him down low on the post-up or those post-entry passes working in Marshall's favor.
There comes the double team. Marshall able to clean it out. And looking to cut it to single digits. Crawford for Martin.
Spacing is off on that possession.
And Obi got it to go without any quarrel from Radford. I didn't know if he had touched the rim before tapping it in, but
it looked like it.
It was close. And that, Nutter sends to the first row. That'll get you going for a freshman.
They're definitely starting to get things going, Marshall, and it all started with Martin down low, finding it. The crowd is now getting into it, and I think a run might through here for the Thundering Herd.
I mean, you can hear these fans, finally they have something to latch onto. It's now a 9-point game. Nutter once again getting his hands in there, but he taps it out of bounds. Again, when you're a freshman, you don't have to drop 20, 25 to get respect for your team. You just have to basically show that effort when your team needs it.
You have to come in and play your role and do it well.
Giles trying to take Nutter as low as he can.
That's a tough shot. I know he's capable of making it in late shot clock. That's the person you want the basketball in his hands.
Turner able to pick up the turnover. Ruth Harris. Referee shaking his head saying no travel. Try to convince the Marshall fans of that. Now Harris slows it down for Radford. Another piece of the transfer portal for the Highlanders. Turner from the left wing. Now here goes Fricks, the big guy. Finds an opening. Martin able to drag it out. Nutter. Oh, this would be big. No good. Martin can't get the offensive rebound. Now you can feel it. Marshall's starting to break through a little bit. Question is, if they do break through, it could go on one of those big 10-0, 15-5 type runs.
It's going to be tougher with their style of play. They're looking to get up a lot of shots in possession, so I think they're definitely capable. But it's for them, it starts on the defensive end of the floor, continuing to get consecutive stops.
Shot clock is at 5. Harris has the mismatch. Passes out of it. Antoine hesitated as the clock hit 0. That's a shot clock violation. Takes us to immediate timeout, and heading into that timeout, Marshall feels a bit amped up. They're trying to ride a little bit of energy. Down by 9 to Radford here in the first half.
Located in the heart of
Tale of two paces.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have a tale of two halves. It's a 10-point Radford lead opening up the second half, and the Highlanders start with the basketball. Here's Giles slicing through. Smith, his buddy in the corner. Archer all over that offensive glass. That's been such a big part of this game. Rebounding, second chances. Giles off on the 3, and it's going to head over Marshall's way.
And not able to get it to fall, but Archer, man, he has 8 rebounds in this game already. You won't look to him to score the basketball much. That's fine. His role is to defend and rebound that basketball at will, and he's done just that.
Kerfman is denied. There's Archer right on cue.
And a rim protector as well. I'd like to call him a defensive specialist. Coming around the curl, he trails a little bit, but enough to get that ball, block it without fouling.
Now for Marshall, guys like Kerfman and Voiles literally have 0 points. Obi wide open. Kerfman gets himself going there with an assist. And it's Obina Anachili Killen getting Marshall its first points in the second half. Giles 3 for 10, 9 points though, looking for Archer. Turner, what a hot night already.
Yeah.
Add to it. That 3 gives him 11. That is a game high for the Bowling Green transfer.
And the ball fake was the degree of separation right there for him. You fake it one way, keep it for yourself, knowing that you have the hot hand. Just a smart play by Chandler on that one.
Voiles, he opens himself up. That's his first make of the night.
And it's off of a tough bucket. I like that play by Voiles because he didn't try to force it, but just takes what the defense gives him on that possession, and it results in an easy 2.
Oh, back and forth to start the second half. There's a mismatch. Kerfman down low with Archer. Giles is trying to get it inside. He has a mismatch himself with the big guy, Obi. Giles decides for the 3, and Marshall will gladly clean up that rebound. Kerfman wide open. Look out. Here come the thundering herd. They get Voiles going. Now Kerfman connects on the first Marshall 3 of the night.
And he's a shooter. That's what he wants to do. Catch it beyond the arc and knock it down. In their first game of the season, he shot 9 triples, made just 3 of them, but he wants to catch it in rhythm and get them to go. And that shot could be the catalyst that can turn things around for Marshall, who's now only down by 6 points.
And now you have Radford turning it over. Voiles short, and the rebound. Knocked around, a fight for it, Connor, able to work his body to keep the possession for Marshall. Radford thought that Darius Nichols going into the break. He did not like the details, the attention to detail or lack thereof. And you're starting to see it in the second half. Kerfman getting hot, too hot. Radford didn't like it. It's a timeout for the Highlanders. Marshall has cut it to a 6-point game. Cam Kerfman, Kevon Voiles waking up.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778, the Spring Row Cottages, now available for purchase, provide the perfect opportunity to make America's resort your personal playground and embrace the 4 distinct seasons that can be found in the West Virginia mountains. All of this is part of the unparalleled lifestyle that comes with membership to the Greenbrier Legacy Club. To learn more about ownership, club benefits, and amenities, visit greenbrierlegacyclub.com.
Well, it's easy. I play longer, I feel stronger, and I recover faster.
One of the other things I just love about this brand are the different colors. I get to be playful, choose my mood. I love the different playful colors and the matching with different outfits.
It's a must, it's effective, and it's stylish.
Experience the warmth of the season as wintertime comes to life at the Greenbrier. Enjoy an exceptional array of indoor and outdoor adventures mingled with seasonal foods, wines, and entertainment January 5th through March 9th. Whether sipping on a unique winter cocktail around a cozy fire, taking an enthusiastic splash in the heated indoor pool, or bundled up tight as you glide gracefully around the ice skating rink, you'll be refreshed and energized by a winter excursion to America's resort. For more information, visit greenbrier.com.
Thanks. Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is too spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
So starting to see the Thundering Herd, some of their big hitters wake up. Kevon Boyles with the drive and the floater, and then Camden Curfman with an assist, a 3, and then this 2-point bucket. If you're Radford, you kind of knew that eventually Marshall was going to find some of its key players.
Definitely, and I think that was a great timeout right there by Coach Nichols to settle his guys down, and it gives you an opportunity to really set up your offense and what you want to see out of them, because they went cold to start this second half as well. They're 1 for 4 from the field, so it's a tale of two things where you got to get some offense going too, and then get your defense back on track as well.
I think we saw Dan D'Antoni smile, if that's what I think I just saw.
A little smirk, right?
He's going to maybe have another one, because Nate Martin draws the off-ball foul. Brian Antoine commits it, and it's possession back to the Thundering Herd. Darius Nichols knows his team is at least put together a good enough first half, but coaches will tell you that's obviously never enough. I do think, Radford cleans things up here. They can get back on track. They really did command a good portion of that first half.
I think for Radford, it starts with their defense and really digging within. They're a team who really does thrive off of energy, and who is going to be that guy who steps up and makes those energetic plays, we're going to have to find out.
Here's Walters, the little guy. He's knocked away. Boyles and Marshall keep the possession.
Well, Archer, he thought he was knocking into a teammate, nobody over there to grab him. He's a good enough offensive rebounder where he has to corral that basketball in.
Boyles draws the foul. Second foul against Radford. It's that aggression, the dribble drive that is starting to add up for Marshall. Kevon Boyles, the latest to draw a foul.
Well, it's the counters, too, and not settling for a three-point shot. Obviously, Kevon wasn't open for a 3, but a hard closeout by a Radford player warrants him to go baseline and try to create that way. And in turn, going to the free throw line. When you are a great scorer and you're trying to find your rhythm, the free throw line is a great place to start with that. You just got to see the basketball go through the rim.
He does twice to make it a 2-point game. This was a 10-point game at the half. It's a huge run for Marshall.
Ultimately a 9-0 run for Marshall, so they really woke up at halftime. Whatever coach said to them in that locker room, it worked.
Radford trying to withstand this push by the Thundering Herd. Right now the ball is not touched DeQuan Smith's hands for a while, and once again an off-ball foul. This time Pierce has his feet moving. So Radford scratching its head as we take another timeout. Marshall right now has him right where they want him.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778, the Spring Row Cottages, now available for purchase, provide the perfect opportunity to make America's resort your personal playground and embrace the 4 distinct seasons that can be found in the West Virginia mountains. All of this is part of the unparalleled lifestyle that comes with membership to the Greenbrier Legacy Club. To learn more about ownership, club benefits, and amenities, visit greenbrierlegacyclub.com.
It's easy. I play longer, I feel stronger, and I recover faster.
One of the other things I just love about this brand are the different colors. I get to be playful, choose my mood. I love the different playful colors and the matching with different outfits.
It's a must, it's effective, and it's stylish.
Experience the warmth of the season as wintertime comes to life at the Greenbrier. Enjoy an exceptional array of indoor and outdoor adventures mingled with seasonal foods, wines, and entertainment January 5th through March 9th. Whether sipping on a unique winter cocktail around a cozy fire, taking an enthusiastic splash in the heated indoor pool, or bundled up tight as you glide gracefully around the ice skating rink, you'll be refreshed and energized by a winter excursion to America's resort. For more information, visit greenbrier.com.
Thanks.
Jake from State Farm, I really need to know.
Go spicy or go home, right?
What? No. What if I'm not sure I have the right coverage for my car?
Oh, your agent can help me make sure it's just what you need.
What if I accidentally hit a food truck and it gets covered in empanadas?
You can file a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Thanks.
Oh.
That is spicy. That's for you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Back at the Greenbrier, a 2-point game at the under-16 media timeout of the second half, alongside Tykira Carter. Keith Rad with you on ESPN+. So here at the Greenbrier with the Colonial Hall, our crews, they're back there somewhere behind that curtain, looking good, I might add. But this has been a place that they built, a venue that they built, not just for this year, but for some high school games in years past, and for next year, the beginning of what they hope is a lot more basketball. So Power 5 teams are coming here for some Thanksgiving tournaments. Usually Thanksgiving and college basketball go hand in hand.
Oh, for sure.
And this place will be a big part of it. How about a tie game? Marshall and Radford now knotted up at 36. It's Obi with the slam.
An 11-0 run from Marshall, and it all started with the ties of the turn, and it's different people getting in on the action. You have Kerfman, who started scoring, their wielded leader on this team. Kevon Boyles is able to find his stride, and then you go from playing on the outside, you get your outside guards going, the dump down on the inside to Obi, who got caught up with the smaller Walters on the inside. And it's just looking like a well-rounded offense for Marshall. Just much better basketball, and the lid is finally lifted from the rim.
An 11-0 run continues for Marshall. Radford just desperate to get out of it. Smith draws the foul, got bumped by Kevon Boyles. We talked about Kevon Boyles, who's been cold offensively tonight, just 1 for 7, coming off that 18-point game against Queens. The school that he came from, the program, Jason Crafton and the Maryland Eastern Shore Hawks, intense, insano defensive pressure, the type of almost havoc that the old VCU Rams teams used to have. So Boyles brings that to a very offensive-minded Marshall team. That helps in these moments when you have to dig down deep to try to turn the tide.
Well, you just saw that Coach D'Antoni out of that timeout. He put on a full-court press, and they nearly came up with the turnover. Refs called a foul, but you see that Marshall is capable of that type of pressure, and we're seeing it right here on this possession. They're moving on the flight of the ball, hands everywhere, and that's just great, great defense.
Best defensive possession of the night from Marshall. Meanwhile, Smith's shot is an air ball. He's just looking for any kind of daylight to put up a three at the end of the shot clock. So it remains a tie game. And well, look at the breakdown of the score. Marshall tonight has held the lead for just 58 seconds. This will be incredible if they get it back right here.
And I think they can if they continue to try to work inside out, or you keep it for Obi, your big guy. He gets to the middle. Everybody collapsed on him. That was an opportunity where there were 3 blue jerseys in the paint. Somebody was open on the outside. You get it, you take one power dribble, kick it out to one of your shooters, and that could have been an opportunity for a knockdown shot.
Now, one thing that is a mismatch right now is Boyles on the inbound gives Marshall the lead. You can tell right now size is an issue in the paint for Radford, and one of their big boppers, Chandler Turner, is on the bench with 3 fouls. He gives them at least a little protection in the paint. Radford is playing a small lineup right now.
They are, and it's been tough for them to come by stops on the defensive end of the floor. Marshall outscoring Radford in this half, 15-3. And what I've seen out of Radford's offense, it's been a lot of east-west, not enough north-south like that play right there. That's one of the very few times that Radford has been able to get downhill in the second half, but they turn the basketball over.
Eyes ahead for the Thundering Herd. Obi got his own miss. And a rebound for Kyle Burns, who's on the floor for the first time for Radford. So now Giles, 9 points, but on 3 of 12. Last time down the floor, a very high-pressure shot.
It's a lot of holding the basketball right here. Time is just ticking off the clock. And again, can Radford get downhill? And they kind of settle. The ball is not sticking. Just a lot of holding the basketball up top and around the perimeter. He needs some movement.
Kerfman looking for the pocket pass. Truth Harris has other ideas. Smith. Radford really needed that.
Bad.
7th three of the night for the Highlanders. First one in a dog's age. Martin, though, gets hit on the head and draws the foul.
Well, we go back to that shot by Smith. That was just in rhythm and in transition, and I think that's the type of basketball that Radford can continue to play if Marshall is not closing out and knowing their personnel, but getting those quick shots up when it's in rhythm and it's a player like Smith is going to be key. Setting it up with that one extra pass to the wing. Rotation is just slow, and it's money.
Martin's first free throw is good, despite the fact that as he shot it, the buzzer had sounded. That's always a fun one for anybody to shoot a free throw. Martin with that make. Right now, Marshall is 10 of 12 from the free throw line, so doing a fairly nice job of getting there and making it count. And usually a team that struggles like that, I think you pointed it out earlier, just getting to the line and slowing the game down helps you get back.
Yeah, it does, and I feel like as a shooter, a scorer, anybody, when you see that ball drop through the hoop from a free throw, I like to call him free money, it just makes you feel good.
1 point Marshall lead. Antoine, aggressive, but lost the handle. 2-on-1 the other way. Voiles takes it himself, cannot finish, but it remains with Marshall. Defense nearly turning into offense for Dan D'Antoni's team.
I mean, that's just a tough take by Kevon. He's smacking his hands. He wants that one back, but that possession really showed off his athleticism and what he's capable of in transition.
Kerfman, Marshall fans wanted a foul. Look at Voiles. Again, that defensive intensity. Fricks keeps it alive. Kerfman still off. And that looked like it was off Marshall, and it is. And Achille Killen been aggressive tonight. Tapped that one out of bounds.
Now, Radford has an opportunity here to slow things down. I think in this second half, they played into Marshall's hands a little bit. We talked about that organized chaos that Marshall, they like to do. They've been imposing their will on Radford in that way where they've been playing a little bit more sped up than they'd like to, especially off of rebounds. They can slow things down when they secure the basketball. Like here, Giles is going to walk it up and they can get into their sets.
Radford remains in that small lineup. They'll probably stay in that small lineup for a couple of games to come because they are still without Josiah Harris and TJ Neesmith, two of their bigger players. So Radford, this is game 2. Certainly whatever happens tonight is not indicative of what's going to happen for the remainder of the season.
Yep.
Radford feels like it has its pieces. Just so far, they have not all been on the floor. But for right now, we're seeing some of these really scrappy, quick guards play a lot of minutes.
And I think you're going to continue to see that out of Radford. Obviously, like you mentioned, they're missing their pieces, but that's their MO. 2 smaller guards. You got a backup guard who comes in the game in Walters, and sometimes he'll play at the same time as Giles. But other than that, they're not a big squad really to begin with. You have Archer down low, and other than that, they're rocking and rolling with the guard play, which can work because when they need to play fast, they can. But for the most part, they're just very disciplined.
For the moment, they lead by a smidge as Nutter takes it into just a jungle of trees. A lot of bigs. Swat that away. Corner 3. Big one. The Truth. Truth Harris with a triple. Radford barking and feeling good, up by 4. This second half, now we're starting to see it float back over Radford's way. That's a big three after a great defensive takeaway.
Well, it starts with get that out of here, get the ball down the floor. Truth Harris, not known for his three-point shooting, but he knocks this one down, and we got a ball game here.
America's Resort, the Greenbrier, has a long reputation as an incredible place to stay, but it's also the perfect spot to get outside and play. Amazing experiences are found around every corner of the picturesque 11,000-acre property, and there's something for every age and interest. Enjoy a new pursuit or relish an old favorite at an iconic property where magical memories are made each day. To explore the more than 55 activities available and plan your next adventure, visit greenbrier.com today.
What if your future had no limits? For over a century, Radford University has been inspiring its students, shining light on the path towards successful careers and a brighter future. With a thriving campus nestled in Virginia's magnificent Blue Ridge Mountains, from places near and far, Radford University students come from a myriad of backgrounds. Our common ground is the dream of a better tomorrow. Let Radford University help you realize yours. Visit radford.edu.
Thanks to DiscountTire.com, we have more time to hang with our new friends.
What do you like to do for fun?
Well, with DiscountTire.com, we save a ton of time.
So we're always trying new things.
Save time. Buy and book online at DiscountTire.com.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778, the Spring Row Cottages, now available for purchase, provide the perfect opportunity to make America's Resort your personal playground and embrace the 4 distinct seasons that can be found in the West Virginia mountains. All of this is part of the unparalleled lifestyle that comes with membership to the Greenbrier Legacy Club. To learn more about ownership, club benefits, and amenities, visit greenbrierlegacyclub.com.
Fine.
Radford right now up by 4 points. Has jumped on the seesaw, Taikiro. Got back and forth now. You know, Marshall came out with such thunder, no pun intended. They are the thundering herd. I guess I walked into that one. But meanwhile, Radford, the reason they've stayed around is because all of their field goal makes have been from the outside. That'll jolt you.
Yeah, it's definitely been Radford's three-point shooting that has really kept them afloat. They're 3 for 8 from beyond the arc in the second. And as for Marshall, a team who's known for their three-point shooting, just 1 for 3. But what I do love about this second half is they're not living and dying by the three. They're looking to get their bigs into screen and roll action and get downhill, and the guards are attacking. We're seeing it right here in this possession. Paint touches have been their friend.
Crawford looking for an alley-oop to both Martin and Fricks. Couldn't get it to either one of them. Now Fricks had it knocked away by Antoine, and then it hit off of his body. It is Radford ball. Now, Marshall didn't like that call, but it was the right one. Just a frustrated offensive possession for Marshall. Really great defense there from the Highlanders.
But Fricks had the first shot, and he is capable of knocking down a three. So that's when you get a little too happy with the dribble penetration. And though you're not shooting that well from beyond the arc, you still got to let it fly. So I thought that was an opportunity to really catch and shoot for him.
Harris with a big three just moments ago. Making his move, cutting, pushing. That's an offensive foul. I could see that from here.
Yeah.
Using that elbow to create separation and couldn't fool the referees.
Not quite. Right here, gets into the body, boom.
And poor Ryan Nutter, not only does he get hit in the front, he falls right into his big guy, Nate Martin.
Double whammy.
Sandwiched.
But nonetheless, worth it. Marshall gets the possession back and still a chance to continue to make their run.
6 fouls in the second half for Radford. Martin, another one. Boy, this guy can fly. Nate Martin with 2 hands.
His athleticism is out of this world, and it all starts with the screen and roll action up top, and I love how his teammates are setting him up for it. Kerfman comes off the screen, that pocket pass on the roll, and he rolls really big and creates a lot of space.
Archer had it popped away by the freshman. Ryan Nutter got his hands in there.
Is that the second big-time block that we've seen by Ryan Nutter here? I mean, come on now. He's not that huge in size and coming over. And let's take another look at this dunk. Two come over and they stay with Kerfman. It opens up the Red Seas down low for Martin to slam another one home. Just some big-time plays by the transfer.
Smith catch and shoot. Archer another offensive board, and this time Martin is whistled for the foul. So Archer, again, with how small Radford has to play, he's basically the 5 and the 4 sometimes at the same time. So he's been getting knocked around all night, and he earns a trip to the line.
Well, Marshall has to know when a shot goes up, the first person that I am looking for is Archer. You have to put a body on him. His feet never stop moving. You see how he runs and flies into the lane every time that shot goes up, and that's where he gets the gist of his points from, the dirty work. Putbacks, getting to the free throw line, and second chance opportunities for his squad.
Right now, Archer with a game-high 10 boards. He had 9 in that North Carolina game. Radford's trips to the line have been a little more infrequent compared to Marshall. Marshall 11 for 13. Radford with that make now 7 for 10.
And then Archer, 6 of his rebounds are offensive. So you talk about 10 of them. Just got to get a body on a guy like that, doing a fine job down low.
Cameron Crawford trying to do too much, taking 1 on 5. Radford by a bucket. Giles, hesitation, beautiful kiss. Giles with 13. Radford wanted to travel on Crawford. Now Voiles. Martin with an offensive rebound.
Nice.
Good pass. Voiles cannot finish. Whoa. Can't get more daylight than that.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens like that in basketball. But I like his response. He just got back on defense, missed it, continuing to play hard.
Archer battling down with 2 defenders, draws another foul. I mentioned the discrepancies. Radford has committed 6 fouls, and now Marshall, little by little, they've committed 4. But this is what happens when Archer's basically dominated in the paint. You got to get bodies on him, maybe too aggressively.
Yeah, he had 2 people on him down low, and that play starts with the pass by Giles from the wing. I mean, just knowing where your big guy is, who has been so dominant down low.
Right back at the line for the lefty. There's Nichols. Nowhere. Nobody knows quite where Radford is headed this year in a good way. They expect, certainly Darius Nichols expects, a conference championship. Picked toward the top of the conference this year in the Big South. Sun Belt, Marshall meets the Big South. Kerfman meets the bottom of the basket. Second 3 of the half for the veteran. Senior out of North Bethesda, Maryland. And a VMI transfer. Finds himself at the Greenbrier, getting his team back to within 3. Turner has had such a big game, but Voiles knocks it away. Here comes Fricks. Draws the foul. So some coast-to-coast action. And Fricks finds himself at the free throw line. Redshirt sophomore.
Well, defense has been the bread and butter to turn into offense for Marshall, who wants to get out and run in transition. Smart decision by Fricks to not stop and take it all the way in.
First one missed by Fricks, 3rd year with Marshall out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. D'Antoni said that Fricks is a little under-recruited when they grabbed him. With that length and athleticism. Unfortunately goes 0 for 2 at the line, so it remains a 3-point Radford lead. 8 and change to go in regulation. Giles, little daylight, left it short. And it trickles out of bounds. Stays with Radford. Shot clock is at 20 on the reset. Boyles 6 points in the second half. Perthman 8. And again, both guys left scoreless in the first 20 minutes. And here comes Obi back on the floor. 10 points, 5 boards for the Thundering Herd. Turner, nice touch. If not for foul trouble, we would have seen a lot more tonight from Chandler Turner. He still has a good chunk of this game to really turn it on. Archer muscles and draws another foul.
I mean, you talk about somebody who takes pride in rebounding. It's Archer. You see the way that he's going back down the floor, talking his stuff to his teammates. And when you're the guy who knows that every ball that goes up is mine, you got to love it. And you see how he puts himself in position every single time. He put his body completely on Martin, wanting that board.
And you can see the look of determination on his face.
He got that look in his eye, like, you're not going to stop me.
And a couple of those add up. They snowball, get even more intense out of Archer. 5 points, but certainly not comfortable breathing room for Radford. Giles on the switch. Smith's had a very quiet second half. Giles makes his move. Splash just beyond the elbow.
I mean, it's a tough shot. I'm convinced he likes to shoot over the 6'8" guys. Those are his favorite. Just gets into his spot, one dribble, making it look easy out there.
Crawford lines up a 3. He's had a quiet offensive night, just 2 for 8. Giles whips it to Antoine. Smith, step back, nasty. And he makes his way to the defensive side of the floor. Radford's starting to pick it up. They've opened up the Highlanders a 9-point lead.
Well, that's a great possession by Radford because they caught Marshall on their heels. Smith got the rebound, and then the defense had a hard time catching up. Only 3 people were back, and that, again, just another tough shot by Kevon Boyles, who hasn't been able to find his rhythm. The Highlanders, on the other hand, coming alive once again.
Marshall now 2 for 15 from 3. It's a big counter run right now for Radford, a 6-0 run. Giles again, nearly put his defender on skates. And Martin right now saves a Marshall give up. Quick blow for the Thundering Herd and a chance to get one back. Martin wants it inside. Instead, it's Boyles on the drive into the double. And Martin commits the foul as Archer hits the deck. Oh, right now it is a 9-point Radford lead. They led in the first half. Marshall has made its run. As Radford put enough together toward the end of the game to take it all the way. Marshall doesn't think so quite yet. 6:20 to go at the Greenbrier.
America's resort, the Greenbrier, has a long reputation as an incredible place to stay, but it's also the perfect spot to get outside and play. Amazing experiences are found around every corner of the picturesque 11,000-acre property, and there's something for every age and interest. Enjoy a new pursuit or relish an old favorite at an iconic property where magical memories are made each day. To explore the more than 55 activities available and plan your next adventure, visit greenbrier.com today.
What if your future had no limits? For over a century, Radford University has been inspiring its students, shining light on the path towards successful careers and a brighter future. With a thriving campus nestled in Virginia's magnificent Blue Ridge Mountains, from places near and far, Radford University students come from a myriad of backgrounds. Our common ground is the dream of a better tomorrow. Let Radford University help you realize yours. Visit radford.edu.
Thanks to DiscountTire.com, we have more time to hang with our new friends.
What do you like to do for fun?
Well, with DiscountTire.com, we save a ton of time.
So we're always trying new things.
Save time. Buy and book online at DiscountTire.com.
Located in the heart of the Greenbrier Resort, a must-visit destination since 1778.
Now the last handful of minutes, 2-3 minutes, has been pretty frustrating for Marshall. Radford had a 10-point lead at the half. Felt like a couple of details weren't quite where they wanted it. They lost the lead for a moment. But right now, they are making Marshall sweat down the stretch.
They are, and I think it's been all about just getting back into who they are. They're not playing as sped up anymore. Radford is finding their rhythm within their offense and getting the shots. And then another thing, just dominating on the boards. I think they are all toughing Marshall, and that has made all the difference.
It's Giles' running point for the Highlanders. Giles with 15 tonight to lead the way for Radford. Now Smith, floater. And Martin has it with two hands. So here come the Thundering Herd, a chance to cut into this 9-point deficit. The 3-point game has been ugly tonight, just 2 for 15. It's a huge part of their game that they need, certainly these last 5 minutes and change, and they give it up. Both teams tonight have really done a nice job not turning the ball over, especially Marshall, just their 6th giveaway. And this is a nice part of the game for Radford to play slow in the half court with a nice 9-point lead to milk the clock with these long possessions.
Yeah, they have a good enough cushion to be able to run through their sets, but now it's go time with 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Truth Harris, one-on-one. Look at the defense from Kerfman. And a foul called against Truth Harris. It's an immediate foul because Kerfman looked like he was about to take off.
That was great timing by Kerfman on the blow-up. You see sliding, and able to just get in there and time that block perfectly. And now in the 1-and-1 for Marshall. So a bright spot has been their free throw shooting in this game, 11 for 15 from the line. So doing a fine job from there. Can they continue to keep that up and will their way back into the game? I would try to attack Radford as much as I can and get into the teeth of that defense and see can they will their way back in with 5 minutes left and get to that free throw line.
Kerfman's first one has gone up and down. This one will take him to double figures. He's got 10. A 10-point second half, a 10-point night for Cam Kerfman. Kerfman coming off that 15-point game in the win against Queens. Marshall 1-0, looking to pick up that second victory. Radford lost to North Carolina, trying to gather its first win. Handoff for Trenton Walters. A lot of minutes tonight for Walters. Hesitation. Opening. Ball's tipped around. Here comes Obi. Leading the pack for the Thundering Herd. The finger roll left short. And Smith is out of bounds, and he is beside himself. Could not believe that his heel touched that baseline, so it's back to Marshall.
It's a little tight down there, though, so I can see how that happened, but good defense by Smith. I think he kind of tripped Obi out with his retreat, didn't fully commit it, and Obi, it made him have a tough decision of how he wanted to finish at the basket.
Kerfman whips it. Full court. Boyles. No good. And no basket. A whistle on the floor against Radford. It's like the little guy, Trenton Walters, who's all of 5'9" on paper. And Ty, as we have found out, they may add a couple of inches to height there.
Wink, wink.
Radford. No, he's trying to bang bodies down there with Obi, who's 6'8", a full foot taller. And now Martin, with a dejected look at the official, has committed another foul. A slow walk to the other free throw line. And guess who? Justin Archer, an effort play, earns free throws.
And 14 rebounds. His career high is 18 rebounds, just getting his hands on the ball. And with 4 minutes left, he could very well get that just because of how active he is.
He pops these two in. It'll take him to double figures offensively. This is the front end. So 7-point game, 4 and change, second half. Martin puts it on the deck, trying to take it all the way in. Great defense from Chandler Turner. Now Voiles, the lefty float. 5-point game, 4 minutes to go.
I tell you what, Kevon Voiles hasn't had the best scoring night, just 6 points, 2 for 14 from the field. But sometimes it's not about how much you score, it's about when you're scoring, and they needed that bucket.
Radford 0 for its last 4. Giles fading away, finds a home. 17 points tonight for Kenyon Giles.
Gritty.
And a 3-point play. They'll look to complete that on the other side of the break. Who cares how big he is? He's been huge tonight for Radford.
Experience the warmth of the season as wintertime comes to life at the Greenbrier. Enjoy an exceptional array of indoor and outdoor adventures mingled with seasonal foods, wines, and entertainment January 5th through March 9th. Whether sipping on a unique winter cocktail around a cozy fire, taking an enthusiastic splash in the heated indoor pool, or bundled up tight as you glide gracefully around the ice skating rink, you'll be refreshed and energized by a winter excursion to America's resort. For more information, visit greenbrier.com.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
A degree from Marshall University isn't simply a career path. It's a trust. It's an opportunity to inhabit the moments that change lives, to make the connections that can make the difference. With the options of a larger school and the intimate nature of a smaller one, you'll find your people, your passion, and yourself while you experience the moments that shape the rest of your life. In person, online, or a mixture of both. Join us today and start to change lives, most notably your own, tomorrow. Your moment awaits at Marshall.
Now back at the Greenbrier. Some Marshall fans looking for a little late push to try to dance their way to a victory tonight. He's got some good moves. Take a look at some of the hustle stats. The boards were big early. Marshall able to go on its run, some points off turnovers. How did the numbers?
The numbers don't tell the game at all.
They don't. They don't. Looking at that, I'm kind of going, where's the story here? It's really been a tale of hanging on in the seesaw. And I think Radford has looked really strong lately.
Well, Radford is the definition of riding the highs and surviving the lows in this game. Coach has done a great job at timeout management of when he feels his team needs to get back in check, calling that timeout and getting them together. And what you don't see on the stat sheet is the grittiness and the fight that Radford has played with.
A late whistle as far as Radford is concerned, as Archer is called for the blocking foul. Nate Martin, who, if you're looking for him in the lobby here at the Greenbrier, you probably won't find him. He's up there soaring through these ball moves. Almost had another one.
He's so athletic in the way that he can take off and excel. He's just played a really great game for Marshall tonight in all aspects, but really turning the corner and getting downhill.
A very cool story as far as how he got to Marshall, and Texas State, the team he played for last year, knocked Marshall out of the conference tournament. And Dan D'Antoni said, well, I'll tell you what, this kid, if you look at his numbers, he comes off the bench, plays about 20 or so minutes. He plays his best games against us in that kind of run and gun fast style. Why don't you come play for us? And here he is. Pretty good get for the Thundering Herd. He's had a really nice night in the beginning of his career. Right now leading Marshall with 14 points.
I mean, and shout out to Coach for having an eye for that, because you play against so many different teams throughout the year, and a player like Nate catches your eye for his ability the way that he has played against your team is excellent.
Meanwhile, Giles is on one tonight. He's got 21 points, another one from long range. But an immediate bounce back from Marshall with that quick pace to grab 2.
Now Radford has to know still a lot of time left in this game after a made shot. Run back on defense, and Marshall a good job noticing that the defense wasn't back.
They call that Giles jumper a 2, not a 3, so he has 20 points. He's not done yet, though. Look at that. Tell you what, he's running on batteries tonight, this Giles kid. Unstoppable at times.
Late in the game, you want the basketball in his hands, and he's absolutely taking over in a plethora of ways and just getting to his spots in rhythm, knocking you down.
Kerfman looking for the straightaway 3 through traffic. Nasty finish. And a Marshall timeout. So Kerfman's triple makes it a 6-point game with 2:17 left to go.
3 for 4 from downtown in the second half for Kerfman, and it's all about just finding his rhythm. Much like Giles has gotten to his spot, so has that guy, number 11 in white.
Tonight at the Greenbrier, more than 1,000 spectators, pretty much right down the middle with Radford and Marshall. Told you that this is a really intimate environment. It's been a great setting for the green on one side, the red on the other side, and again, the Greenbrier's not dead smack in the middle of these two schools, but pretty close.
It's popping in here. I've definitely enjoyed it. You can hear the guys, and we're right on top of the action and the excitement from where we're sitting at.
Slow down time for the Highlanders. Trying to plant their flag in the center of the Greenbrier tonight. It's a one-off neutral site game. This building will host a tournament next year and hopefully for years to come. Stop for Marshall. Again, a 2-possession game. And a reach-in foul from Giles there.
And out there, you don't have to foul Kerfman. He wasn't in a motion to shoot the basketball. I understand continuing to be aggressive, but at the same time, Giles, just show your hands and move your feet. Don't dig in there. You're going to give Kerfman 3 points at the free throw line.
No foul trouble for Giles, but put Kerfman at the line.
Marshall's in the bonus.
2 shots coming up for Kerfman. That one pretty as it gets. He is really the leader of this Marshall team. Some new faces, the likes of Voiles and Crawford and Nutter. That's really been Kerfman's team. That's what D'Antoni expects out of him, at least, that leadership role, to be the glue, to keep everybody old and new together.
Sure. And familiar with the conference, preseason, second team All-Sunbelt, and more than capable of doing it with the way he can fill it up on the stat sheet.
4-point game, $1:40 left, second half. Radford with the lead and the ball. Giles has been exquisite tonight. Looking for 3 more. Off left. Marshall moving quickly. Voiles. Good save by Jacob Connor. Kerfman catch and shoot. And he knocks down the triple.
I mean, come on now. Kevon Voiles, not the best shot in transition to begin with, but second chance opportunities, keeping things alive for the Thundering Herd. And what do you know, a 1-point game. Kerfman has been on one in this second half. Another great look just coming off the curl, feet set, quick release, knockdown.
And I tell you what, from the angle that we saw, he's falling away from the basket. He basically ends up having a hand in his face. It's not an easy shot at all to knock down, but they love that at Marshall.
Yeah, and playing under a coach like Coach D'Antoni, just talking to him in pregame, we try to do the opposite of what the defense does. The defense closes out hard, fine, we're going to knock down a tough shot in your face. He encourages his guys to take shots like that, and he keeps them confident, and that's how they've been able to really will their way in and stay close in this game.
Well, for those who will just look at the box score at the end and say, oh, Kerfman, 18 points. Well, he didn't have anything in the first half. He has all 18 in the second half, and his effort has cut his team to within 1. Meanwhile, Radford holding on for dear life, up 61-60.
And they need a good possession right here.
Under a minute. Shot clock down to 10. Antoine floats it down low. Here comes the double. Archer called for the offensive foul, winging that arm around to try to create leverage to the basket, and it's Marshall ball.
And the hook, a big point of emphasis in college basketball. You see him just wrapping that arm around Obi, trying to clear the space, and it is the right call.
8-0 run for Marshall, but they still trail by 1. Martin spins around and out. Here comes the whistle, push foul.
Going the other way, though.
It's headed Radford's way. Marshall fans can't believe it. And Voiles whistled for the foul. That is his 3rd.
You kind of bail Radford out on that one. And taking another look at it, Kevon Voiles, that's a tough one. It looked like 2 guys going for the basketball, Smith and Voiles. I think that's a no call. Like, it's clean. You either call out of bounds and decide whose basketball it is, go over to the monitor. But I don't think the refs, you make that call there. It seemed like 2 guys just hustling.
It's one of those calls that both teams, both sides, both coaches go, who's it on?
Yep.
And now Smith finds himself at the line. Nail biting time at the Greenbrier. 33 seconds to go. These are some big ones from the line. That's down for Jaquan Smith.
Ice water. And he hasn't been involved much in this game as he should, coming back as the 2nd leading scorer, but clutch free throws when you need them.
Deep breaths in his 6th collegiate year. Preseason all Big South. Missed it. 1 possession game, 30 seconds left. Turfman looking for Martin.
Wow.
Tie game. Nate Martin at the doorstep. 62-62. And the officials put his hand up. I don't think they put the score up on the board.
I think it's a clock situation, too, just trying to make sure that the clock is in the right place. In a game like this, you want to get everything right when you're the officials down to the wire. So getting that score on there and then checking out the clock. But shot clock's going to be turned off here for Radford. And coaches, it seems as he's not going to call a timeout and letting them play. But
62-62. Well, when we knew we were coming to the Greenbrier for Marshall Radford, we knew it was going to be good. Coin flip game. Here you go. Is it going to land Marshall or Radford?
I like this. Coach is letting him play it out.
Giles. Voiles. Giles to his right. Jumper coming. No good. 3 seconds and a whistle with 2.5. And the officials are going to take a look at who knocked this ball out of bounds. So they are going to go to the monitor, but you're Radford right there. Giles with the ball in his hands. 62 up. Antoine. Got it! Knocks it down! Radford has the lead with 1.5 seconds to go. And the foul.
Wow.
Brian Antoine.
Wow. Come on now. Where's the replay at? We got to see that one again. We thought the ball was going to go back to Giles on this one, but it is Antoine. He comes off of a double screen to the corner hard. That's the most important thing about coming off those double screens. Hard with his feet set with the curl, and he knocks it down. And
that's his
the
first
Villanova transfer.
3 of the night. He nails it. That does it. It's a Radford win, 66-62. What a night at the Greenbrier. A night that will forever be remembered by Brian Antoine.